Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are well. Again, we are together. So, dear students, in this video, we are going to discuss about methods. So, first of all, the question is, what are methods and why we are going to create it? What is the use of methods? So, dear students, answer is very simple and you know it. So, what is the answer? Simply, methods are a piece of pre-compiled code that are used in a program to increase the efficiency of the program. In simple words, functions are piece of a code which we are using in our program to save our time and also to increase the efficiency of the program. For example, we are using math.sqrt. So what is sqrt here? It is function. What is the use of function? It is used to obtain square root of any given number. What is the class for this function? That is math class. So it is a ready-made function which is given by the language. So one thing is clear, that method will store in a class. Yes, of course, because Java is based on object-oriented programming language. So everything we have to write in a class. So function is also a piece of code we will write in a class. This thing is clear? So math class is having so many functions. Among that, sqrt is there, which is used to obtain a square root of a number. So whenever we have to obtain a square root, we are not going to write a function again by using the mathematical function. We will simply call this function and we can call the function as much time it is required. Once we have created, so we can call it several times. Clear, my dear students? So, as this function is given, we can create our own function. So, in simple, we can say that functions are of two types. Functions are of two types. First is called as predefined function and second is called as user defined. So first one is predefined and second one is user defined. So what do you mean by predefined? What do you mean by user defined? This thing is also clear. Predefined means the function which is defined earlier, or the function which is given by user as primitive data type. Okay? User defined means the function which we are going to create. User is going to create, that is called as user defined function. Clear? So every function have a proper syntax. Every function have a proper syntax, and that syntax now we are going to discuss. Okay? So first of all, how we can create user defined functions. So as I told you, for user defined function there is some specific rule and that rule we have to follow, that syntax we have to follow. Clear? So, what is the syntax? First of all, we have to write SS modifier. We have to write SS modifier that is of three type. Either it is public, private, or protected. After that, we have to write return type. It may be void or it may be any primitive type of data type. Any primitive type of data type, such as integer, string, double, etc. Clear, my dear students? First of all, what we have to write? SS modifier. It may be public, private, or protected. What do you mean by public? Public means we can use it anywhere. Public means we can use it anywhere. Now, what is the meaning of anywhere? Anywhere means simply we can use it. We can use it in the same package or in the different package. Clear? In the same package or in a different package. So that is called as public. What is private? Private means within the same class. Within the same class, that is called as private. What is protected? Protected means class and its inherited class. Inherited class means suppose A and B, two classes here. A inherits B. So we can use this function. If a function sum is defined in A, so this sum function we can use in A as well as B. So class and its derived class. Clear? So public means anywhere inside the same package or different package. Means like your class. Okay? In your section. In your section and rest of the section. Okay? Private means within your class only. Clear? Protected means class and inherited class. Okay? If your class inherit any other class, so in your class and the inherited class. I hope it is clear. Now, return type. Return type, it may be void. Void means simply, my dear students, nothing. Okay, when we have to not use the primitive data type, we will simply use void. Void means nothing. Okay, basically this is called as return type. So what is return type? When the function is written, it should be called to execute. Only writing is not sufficient. Afterwards I will discuss function is having two parts, calling part and definition part. So after defining we have to call it. So when we are calling, then the function is executing actually. And after the execution, it gives some value to return type. If we don't want to return any value, then we will use void. Otherwise, if we want to return any value, then we have to use any primitive data type like integer, float, double, whatever. Clear? After that, third part is function name. It should be anything, xyz, sum, simple interest, display, whatever. Okay? Sometime, not sometime, most of the time it is given in the question. Okay? And fourth is function arguments, or we can say argument list. So what is argument list? I have discussed earlier that minimum requirement of the question, minimum requirement of the program is called as argument. Minimum requirement of the function is called as actually argument. For example, suppose we are creating a function which will add 2 numbers. So what is the minimum requirement of the function on which function cannot perform? The 2 number. So what will the argument? That 2 numbers. If we are creating simple interest, so what is the minimum requirement? P, R and T. If we don't have P, we cannot calculate. If we don't have R, we cannot calculate. If we don't have T, we cannot calculate. SI. Okay, if we don't have SI, we will calculate. Because SI is the value which you have to calculate. This is output. Okay. So whatever the minimum requirement on the basis of which function has to perform, that is called as argument. Clear? And this whole is called as function prototype. What? Function prototype. This whole is called as function prototype, and only these two things, function name with argument list, that is called as signature of the function. Clear? This whole is called as prototype of a function, and these two, function name with argument, is called as signature of a function. Clear? Now we will see the examples. If I will write class ABC, and in this I am going to write a function that is public SS modifier. I don't want to return void main, name of the sum, name of the function, at least 2 number, because I am going to add 2 number. So this 2 number is argument, and my dear students, this is the style to write the argument. Okay? Data type, space, variable, comma, again data type, space, variable, comma. So like that. Clear? If we will not leave a space here, it will be wrong. So please take care. Public void sum, integer A, integer B. So what we have written here? We have written a function here. Now we are going to calculate. Clear? So we have to give curly braces, because this curly braces will tell you the scope of a function. What? Scope of a function, that from this position function is started now. Clear? So what we will write? We will write integer C is equal to A plus B. Clear, my dear students? So C is a value which is output. In this we have add A and B. Now what we will write? I have written void here. That means simple words. Okay, leave return type. If we have written void, that means simply I have to give printing statement in my function only. Only remember this point. Clear? Forget about return type. अगर आपने यहाँ void लिखा है, that means printing statement हमको function के अंदर लिखना है. This is the simplest way to learn. Because void returns nothing. So no return, no receiving. Only printing is there. So we have to print inside the function, that is void. Clear? Simplest way to learn. So now what we will write? We will write SOPLN sum is equal to plus C. Now I am going to write void main. So we can write like this also, public void main string args, or we can write void main. This both we know, and what is the difference also we know, where we have to use this also. Okay, see, these functions are same now. Public void main string args, that means main is also a function which is predefined function. Okay, prototype is given here. This is the prototype of the function. So this function is predefined and this function is user defined. Clear? Now we will make object of the class, and with the object we will call this function. Clear? So here I am going to take two value integer. A is equal to 7, B is equal to 9. So now we will make object of the class. How we can make object of the class? ABC OB is equal to new ABC. After that, parenthesis. Clear? Class name, object name is equal to new. Class name, here you can say class name, but exactly it is not a class name, it is constructor, that we will discuss afterwards. But here you can say it is class name with parenthesis to learn. Clear? So class name, object name equals to new space class name with parenthesis, but here only. Actually it is constructor. Okay. So with the object we have to call function ob dot sum. It needs two value, that is a and b. Don't confuse with this a and that b, both are separate. I'll write m and otherwise you will be confused. We can take ab also, that is perfect, no confusion. Okay, because you can see this function is closed here and this function is closed here. So scope is different na? So we can take same variables also, no problem. Okay, m and n I have taken. So what we will write? ob dot sum m comma n. Now what will happen? We know that program executes from the main. As we will run this program, compiler search the main. After that, it will create the object. As it will create the object, it will search for the class. As it will get the class, it will call the constructor first. Okay? And constructor will give the default value to a and b, that is 0. After that, we have called ob dot sum mn. M is 7, n is 9. So when we will call this function, this is called as calling function. So now this will move to that function, means the m will move in a and n will move in b. The value of, as we will call, compiler into memory, into class, and search for the function. In class, compiler will get the function. Now these values are copied here. These values are copied here, m and n. So now A is having 7, B is having 9. Clear? Now what will happen? C is equal to A plus B. It will add 7 plus 9 and it will print here 16. We are not returning anything, so it will not return back. Here only it will print and finish. So simple. What is the resultant of this whole? What we have learned? Simply, what is the resultant? When we are talking about user-defined function, we have to write a function in a proper format. Clear? What is the format? First of all, SS modifier, then return type, then function name, then argument list. What is argument list? Minimum requirement of the function is called as argument list. Clear? Okay, fine. So, after writing the function, we have written the task of a function. When we are using void, that means simply we have to write print statement in the scope of the function, nothing else. Clear, my dear students? So if we will ask about the return type of void, so simply void returns nothing to the operating system. That's why printing statement we are writing here only. After that, in main, what we will do? We will create object of the class and then we will call the function. No need to write this statement also. Directly I can write here the value 11 and 12. This also correct. Okay, in void main, pass object here to give the value. This also correct. From the console you take the value. This also correct. Use scanner class to take the value. This also correct. Clear? So my dear students, whatever value we have written here, that value will copy into A and B, and this kind of calling is called as call by value. Means we have called the function by value. Okay? So what is the advantage and what is the drawback of call by value? Here I have taken m and n. So in a memory, now I am going to tell you disadvantage and advantage. Okay? When we are calling the function with some value, that is called as call by value, and this function is example of call by value. Clear? So now I am going to tell you advantage and disadvantage of call by value. So first of all, a great disadvantage is here, that is memory loss, memory wastage. How? Here we have used m and n. So what will happen? In memory it will create m and n and put the value 7 and 9. And as this line will execute, here A and B, okay, as this line will execute, A and B will initialize with 0 because of this statement. How, we will discuss later. It is constructor, so it will give the initial value 0 to instance variables to map. Okay, so A and B will get 0. Now what will happen? As we will call this function, 7 will store here, 9 will store here. Okay, 7 will copy into A and 9 will copy into B. So in this program, my dear students, we can clearly see that to hold the same value, duplicate copies are here. Okay, to hold the same value, duplicate values are here, duplicate variables are here. That is useless, wastage of memory. M is also having 7, A is also having 7, N is also having 9, B is also having 9. So that is disadvantage, that is wastage of memory. Why we will waste memory? To store the same thing. Clear? Advantage, sometime due to any reason, if data is lost from here, okay, so if data is lost from here, we can easily copy again. Whenever we will call, it will copy. Okay, so sometime if any reason, so many reasons are there, okay, if any reason, by any reason data is lost, so we can achieve our data easily from here. Okay, but advantage is very less as compared to disadvantage. Okay, so till here I hope you got, students. In the next video we will discuss about the mathematical functions, that is predefined and called by reference. So I hope it is clear. If any problem, you can just call me or ask any question in the group. Okay, thank you my dear students.